Okay, so we're trying to use an equation toolbar for math. First of all, to pull up the equation toolbar, you go into your view, and then you make sure that you have this checked, and then boom, you have a new thing in here. And then I just kind of looked this up for fun. Let's use this as our image, our reference. So what our equation toolbar does is it kind of gives us a reference point, not a reference point, it gives us a format to write our stuff in like Google Docs, very pretty, and it's not all messy like E over E squared kind of deal. So we start by hitting new equation, and we are finding P. Okay, I'm sorry, I knocked you over. Find P. And then we hit enter, new equation, and our first one is sine A over A, so we're going to go into this one right here. What's it called? It's called math operations. And then we have A over B, which gives us that. So then we can type in sine A, and then A, and then I'm just going to increase this to font size 14. Sine A over A, then we do our equal, and then we do that, sine B over B, and then we hit enter again. Now we're making a new equation with the same deal, sine 133, I believe there's a degree thing in here. There is not, so we're just going to pretend it's there. And then 9 equals sine 13 over P. And then we're going to make a new equation, same deal, P, and then that dot right there, you can use a multiplication or a dot that you can just punch in. P times sine 133 and over sine 133. I'm not sure what they're doing at this point, but I think you kind of get the point. In our math operations, we have fractions, we have square roots, we have nth roots. This is for your exponents, x to the b, x to the a, I'm not so sure about. I believe this might be for calculus, so don't worry about that. And then we have some arrows in case you get kind of questions like that. You may come across this one, the equals with a slash through it, that does not equal. This is element of real numbers and not element of real numbers. And then we have some basic stuff in here. The element of real numbers stuff you may get into in the 11th grade, so that's not what we're going to worry about right now. We have our times, our division. This is times again, but as a dot. This is plus or minus. We're going to get into that in your quadratics unit. And then some other fun little characters that I have not used, but they're there and they look pretty. And then there's all of these guys. They are Greek letters, and you may use them occasionally, such as this one, theta. We've talked about that one before, so you may use that. I believe, I don't actually remember, but you'll see them sometimes and you'll have to understand them, and that's just kind of how you use the equation toolbar, and that's what ILC wants you to use.